on tape. And then what we'll do, and you guys don't have to film this, you can if you want, you can just watch it, but we're going to dance. And we're going to try to just dance all basics with different types of connection. And just the ones we showed you, just to show what a difference that makes in your dancing, okay? So cameras ready, make sure you're on video. 3, 2, 1, and action. All right, so first day of the intensive is SwingDiego 2017, and really what we got to was all advanced connection. And we talked first about that static anchor, or your basic anchor. We still teach this as a basic, and we still find this as our home. And that's that when we lead a basic underarm turn, a basic 6-beat move, I go with my follower to then slow her down. We feel that the tension is built between her getting behind her 4 and me getting behind my 4.
And I think you just take this foot behind my right foot, and a 5, and a 6.
So all of our 6-beat patterns, you notice I go with my follower to slow her down. To me, if you're a teacher, that's just a great consistency within this dance. All of our 6-beat moves, I go with my follower, I then slow her down. That's what makes our connection gradual.
And there's posting, so Jordan's going to post on count 4, which means he's just going to tell his hand to stop moving towards me, so that I can get caught and catch my connection right at the end.
So you would say the definition of post is setting a place and a point of connection that we're both going to find connection from, rather than the definition of post being connect. Sometimes that finds connection too soon.
You need a post to find connection. Post is not a connection.
So then we talked about a floating anchor. A floating anchor could be where I take that post and move it with my follower. If I keep the post moving, my follower fills that space. Again, we said that leaders should be a little more visual. They should try to make it look intentional and stylized, not just drift towards the follower.
Followers don't always think back as your general way of trying to connect. So I'm always thinking 4 to 5 is here, when he keeps coming towards me, then I keep going back to floating. Okay?
All right. And again, when we use that floating anchor, so we did a transition of releasing the left, we then did a free spin, and we found connection. If you float and then lead another pattern, it still needs elasticity. If I floated and then let in, my follower has to find that redirection in her body first. So the follower's body would shift away before she comes forward. And that's her putting the period in between the 2 sentences.
And elasticity is and hip back or and push off on a land on 1. And just to show you that and a 1. Okay?
So then now, if I let an underarm turn and I went away from my follower or side or back diagonal, the tension is built sooner. Now that makes my follower check away. This creates the first bounce. And this is the start of double resistance. So I lead any basic pattern, find tension sooner. And now when we go to that back foot, we check. This is 5 and 6 and 1. Now this can feel 2 ways. This can be resistance, compression, and notice that the handhold is dropped. The index finger is inside and that fills a gap. And this lets her feel both sides of the connection. That could also be done with a more fluid style. So that can be done without finding compression. So anytime you see a leader lift or releve, anytime you see a leader more fluid in his body movement.
His pitch changes too, is more hesitant. His pitch forward is more hesitant, and he wants compression. He's a little bit more forward to ask for it.
And the only reason we take compression away is because sometimes we don't want it so rigid. This is more rigid. So the bluesy dance tomorrow, when we dance, we might hit that more. We might find a more staccato movement. But today we do a lot of this.
There was no compression.
No compression in between both sides. Then we did delayed rhythm. Delayed rhythm, if basic connection is found behind the 4 into 5 and 6, we think of delayed rhythm as shifting the connection to 6 and 1. So we think of now, if you take 4 being very light, if you swing the anchor to close, no tension yet. Building the tension away on 6, building the tension on 1 and 2.
And follow through leaders with your arm and followers settle in your left hip.
So we're creating that delayed double by connecting later in the pattern and bringing her forward.
And just before you turn off the cameras, what we're thinking, the leader does a 1-2 forwards, I can create that delayed rhythm while Jordan's still leading a 1-2. And that would come from more of a twist in my torso than if he actually let the away on me. Okay? Cool. So your memory is still there. Yes, if you want to record us just dancing, we're just going to kind of switch off a little bit.
But don't record yet so you don't